is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com and welcome back to another one of our Kentucky Derby updates. Well, there's absolutely nothing to talk about for what happened last week because we didn't have any preps and there really wasn't anything that stood out. Not saying throughout horse racing, but at least for the Kentucky Derby, there's really not a whole lot to talk about. So, however, we'll go through my top five real quickly, and then we will go through the two races that will be running this weekend, Fairgrounds and Turfway. All right, top five, and we'll go through it quick because we've done this a bunch, and I've said it a few times, and I'll say it again. This top five is completely meaningless because everything's going to change in the next 3 weeks. Maybe, unless they all run great, that's in the top five, then it won't change. But number 5 on the list is Dornoch. We'll see what he does in the Bluegrass. It sounds like that's where he's going. There's still a chance of the Florida Derby for Dornoch, but it sounds like Bluegrass is where they're pointing, as of right now. Of course, he was first in the Fountain of Youth last time out and first in the Rims in 2 races back. So number 5, Dornoch, looking to step up in the Bluegrass. Number 4 is Mystic Dan. He doesn't really need to step up in the Arkansas Derby. He just needs to do what he did in the Southwest Stakes and do it again. And then if he does it again on the first Saturday in May, he will win the Kentucky Derby because he's ran far and away, in my opinion, as a 3-year-old, the best race we've seen. It was an amazing race in the Southwest Stakes. However, where did it come from? We're not quite sure. And it was a very sloppy track. He rallied up the rail. Maybe he just kind of rode a track bias, rode the fact that he loved the slop and the others didn't. I mean, there's a lot of factors. It's a major question mark that he can do that again. But he was great in the Southwest. He'll try to do it again in the Arkansas Derby next week. Catching Freedom at number 3 for me this week. Once again, he was 3rd in the Risen Star Stakes. We'll see him this weekend in the Louisiana Derby. Look, I think if you can get him to run straight, if you can kind of work out his stretch running problems, I think he's got a chance to be really good. We've seen a nice turn of foot from this horse, but he's a little quirky, right? I mean, he won the Smarty Jones Stakes 2 races back, but it was kind of like, are you ever going to do it? Or are you just going to mess around? And then when he finally got going, he went right by. I got to tell you, the Risen Star, I thought he was going to dominate that race. He just got a little weird. He did kind of get back on track, but you can't mess around during most of the stretch run and beat better horses. So got to get that straightened out. If they can, he's going to be tough. Number 2, Track Phantom. I've kind of said this for 3 or 4 weeks now. He kind of does everything the right way, as far as he can get out of the gate, he can get good position. He'll stalk the pace. If there's a speed horse out there, he'll take the lead if he is, if there's nobody out there to go with him. But I'm not sure he's that good. And that's kind of the big problem. He'll be in the Louisiana Derby this weekend, and we'll get another chance to kind of look at him. I just don't know talent-wise if he's got enough to do it, but I've got him at number 2. He's been very consistent. And then number 1, Sierra Leone. We'll see him in the Bluegrass Stakes. Of course, he won the Risen Star last time out. He was 2nd in a very close race to Dornoch in the Rimson. They may rematch in the Bluegrass, and that's going to be something to see. But Sierra Leone seems to be progressing nicely. I think he's got a lot of upside. So I think Sierra Leone, he's the number 1 horse for now. I think he earned it for now, but what that really means going forward, who knows? But Sierra Leone, number 1. So number 5, Dornoch. Number 4, Mystic Dan. Number 3, Catching Freedom. Number 2, Track Phantom. Number 1, Sierra Leone. All right, I'll read you the field. So the Louisiana Derby and the Jeff Ruby Stakes going to be ran this weekend. It's the first, we've got basically 8 100-point races left. 2 this weekend, 3 on March 30th, and then 3 on April 6th. So let's talk about the March 23rd ones here this weekend. The Louisiana Derby drew a field of 12 Triple Espresso from the Rail Hall of Fame in number 2. Number 3, Antiquarium. Number 4, Agate Road. He could run in the Jeff Ruby. Number 5, Catching Freedom. Number 6, Awesome Ruta. Number 7, Anna Marie. Number 8, Next Level. Number 9, Real Men Violin. Number 10, Common Defense. Number 11, Tuscan Gold. Not Tuscan Sky, Tuscan Gold for Chad Brown. And number 12, Track Phantom. So that's your field there. And you see my number 3 ranked horse, Catching Freedom, in the 5 hole. And then my number 2 ranked horse, Track Phantom, all the way to the outside. So that'll be interesting there. Look, I think we're going to get 2 or 3 Kentucky Derby runners out of this. I think Hall of Fame on the bounce back is interesting. Antiquarian, I think, is interesting. Trying stakes for the first time. We talked about Catching Freedom, Track Phantom. You also have Anna Marie and Real Men Violin, who's trying to bounce back 2nd off the layoff. So there's a lot to be interested there. All right, let's go to the Jeff Ruby here real quick. Also Saturday, number 1, Freedom Principle. Number 2, Dancing Groom. Number 3, Lucky Jeremy. Number 4, Noted. Number 5 is Agate Road, but he might scratch. Number 6, Northern Flame. Number 7, Woodcourt. Number 8, Otello. Number 9, Seize the Gray. Number 10, Endlessly. Number 11, Baytown Chatterbox. And the number 12 is West Saratoga. Now, 2 also eligibles here as well. The number 13 is Circle P, and the number 14 is Triple Espresso. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Triple Espresso also entered in Louisiana. So if he can't get into the Turfway race, he can go to Louisiana. And then Agate Road, obviously, cross-entered as well. So those also eligibles, keep an eye on them. One may draw in. I think Circle P is going to get in. So, all right. This is another one, like, I don't really know who is going to come out of this, and we're going to be like, yeah, he's good. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but boy, Two Phils ran a race last year that was super impressive. And, you know, if you looked at that race, you go, well, he can win the Derby, and he ran second, you know, and of course, Rich Strike did not win this race, but won the Derby in his next race. So this is something you got to take serious now, and that's proven it. So the Jeff Ruby Stakes also on Saturday. All right, guys. That'll do it for our Kentucky Derby update. Of course, the next couple of weeks after this show, going to be a ton to talk about, to recap, and probably a new top 5. And then, of course, going on to that next week. So thanks, everybody, for watching this week. Hit that like button if you like it. Hit subscribe if you really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do our Kentucky Derby updates. And most importantly, come back right here next week for another Kentucky Derby update.